Good morning, everyone who's joining us. We're gonna start our session at 11 minutes past 10. Um, but you guys are free to unmute and tell us who you are and where you're calling from, where you're joining from, actually. So we can just get to know each other before our session begins. Nicola, would you like to start? Hi, I'm Nicola from Cape
Hi,
Town.
I'm Nicola from Cape Town. That's where I'll be joining this meeting from. How's everyone doing?
Thank you, Nicola from Cape Town. I think I like that, Nicola from Cape Town. Cool. Who else? Zube, where you calling from? How, Zube? I can't hear you, by the way. Hi, I'm
Yes,
Zube. Where you
Hi,
calling from?
Riversdale, small town, so it's not that great where I am right now. But yeah,
Okay. Hi, Yanga. Okay. Hi, Yanga. Where you calling from? I see you unmuted, but there's no there's no sound coming out. Okay. While we fix that, hi, Tandega. Oh, right. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Can you guys see me?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. And then I just would like to ask, in terms of the people in Cape Town, are we sending a Zoom link to them to join? And then we'll just advise those who can to join on YouTube.
yes, I sent both links out to them.
Okay, awesome.
Can you guys just maybe put in the chat if you guys can see the presentation?
Yes, I can see the presentation on my side.
I know in the YouTube.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, they can. For those who just joined, hello. We will start our session at 11:05. Meanwhile, you can introduce yourself in the chats to say hi, your name, and where you joining us from, right? So yeah, so that we can all get to know each other. And if you'd like, you can unmute and introduce yourself as well. Um, am I missing anything from my side? No. Okay. Hi, Carl from Cape Town campus. There's a lot of Cape Townians today. Yeah, I'm jealous. Nice to meet you, Carl. Are you doing your second year? I'm guessing. The color is Carl doing his second year?
Yes, he is. He's doing very well.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Kyle.
Star student. No favoritism.
Awesome. Hi, Emanuela. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like, you can introduce yourself, Emanuela, and just let us know where you're joining us from. You can use the chats, you can unmute, whatever you're comfortable with, so we can get to know each other. I wanted to know, Yanga, can you hear us? Hi, I'm Yanga, currently based in Stellenbosch. Oh, interesting. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Yanga. Um, Nicole, are you able to access YouTube?
I actually am. I'm busy watching on this side as well.
Okay, cool. So I'll be monitoring it with you as well. Hi, everyone. To everyone who just joined, we are going to start our session at 5 minutes past 11. But while you edit, feel free to introduce yourself in the chats, unmute if you want to, and let us know who you are and where you're joining us from. Hi, Luborelo. Thank you for joining. Hi, guys. I'll just keep repeating the same thing. We will start our session at 5 minutes past 11. Meanwhile, while we wait, feel free to introduce yourself, unmute if you want to, or type it in the chat of who you are and where you're calling us from so we can get to know you while we wait for more people to join. Hi, Michael C. Thanks again for joining this week. I think I've been seeing you in our sessions for a while now. Thank you so much. Hi, good morning. Good morning to you too. Hope you're doing well.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you? And who am I speaking to?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning. My name is Albertina.
Hi, Amartina. Where are you calling us from? Where are you joining us from?
Okay, I'm joining from Pretoria.
Hi, in Pretoria.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Nice to meet you. We have someone in the chats. Hi, Nero. He's from Soweto. At least some Gauteng people. Cape Town have been dominating since morning. At least people around. I feel at ease now, at least. Okay, cool. We will start our session at 5 past, just to let more people join. And just for your discretion, we are also live streaming this on YouTube as well. And so, yeah. Hello, everyone from YouTube. Hope everyone is having a good morning.
Sorry, before we start, I have a question. For these webinars that I see here for the cybersecurity protecting your digital on the 28th and the one on the 21st of November,
Mm-hmm.
how do we get to it to register, or are they?
Oh, okay. So good question. So what we usually do is we post this on our social media platforms. So you can go to any of your social media platforms, your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, and just search for Within Code, right? But usually they post it the week that it's happening. So on the Monday, so maybe the Monday of the 28th, which is gonna be the 25th, there's gonna be one that comes out with a link to the registration form. So you can fill in your details from there, and then we will then be communicating with you and sending you emails to the link, and yeah, the whole process of that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. Hello. Okay. I think it's pretty fair to say we can begin. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another session, another Thursday with you guys. Thank you so much for joining our session. For today's session, we are going to be focusing on cloud computing, right? Essentially, Zubair, can you go back to the agenda? Essentially, everything to do with cloud. So if you are interested in the cloud computing space, we have a speaker here today who will be speaking more of that. And then we'll then give you guides to say that this is how you can get started. This is a course you can take on a platform called IBM Skills Build. And just so we can just kick you off into that career path, right? So, how our agenda will run for today is that we'll do our welcome and introduction. So, hi everyone, my name is Gugu Mukwena. I am an IBM administrator at Within Coach. I am not traveling alone. I have my colleagues with me who will later on introduce themselves as they do their part of the presentation. But yeah, essentially, I'm welcoming you all. Feel free to type in the chats your name, introduce yourself, and tell us where you are calling in from, so that we can get to know you as well. Then from there, I'll introduce you guys to our speaker for today. Um, as I said, take advantage of this session, ask the speaker any questions that you might have related to the specific career. Even if you are just a beginner, this is your time to do so. And then from there, with everything that we learned from our speaker, we'll introduce you to something called IBM Skills Build, right? We will then say, now that you've learned what cloud computing is, this is the steps that you can take to get yourself certified by IBM as somebody who's in the cloud computing space. And from there, we'll have an IBM Skills Build website walkthrough where one of my colleagues will show you how to onboard yourself, how to get started, and where to from there, right? And then we'll have our overall Q&A session if we haven't answered any of your sessions throughout the session. So feel free to pop your questions in the chat. Feel free to react. Feel free to let us your thoughts throughout the whole session. If you have any questions throughout the session, we do have a designated team who will help you answer any of those questions. If you have a question for your speaker, we will direct the question to our speaker and he'll be more than welcome to answer that for you guys. And just to move on, a highlight for this is our upcoming events. Just to let you know, we have this type of events every week, every Thursday actually, where we speak about different topics. So the ones that are upcoming for next week and the other following week is cybersecurity and AI. We have had a lot of cybersecurity and AI webinars before, but we're just going to be adding more information to what you guys have received from those sessions. And if you're interested on getting those previous sessions, feel free to email us. We will share the email address with you guys, and then we'll send the recordings to you guys. Cool. Then what I would like from you guys also to just get to know who is here so that we can be in contact with you and sending you guys maybe the recording for this session. We have a link in the chat mark as complete. So what I'd like from you guys is to just take the second to click on the link. If you do have a profile on IBM Skills Build, just what you will do, you'll land on this page and then just click on the button here that says mark as complete. And then the nice thing is that you can actually get certifications to say you attended the session. But also, if you do not have a profile, feel free to create the profile now. If you do stumble across any problems, there will be a walkthrough at the end of the session, and we will be able to fix any of the problems that you may have with onboarding yourself onto IBM Skills Build. Cool. Thank you so much. Then just moving on to that. As I said, today we have a wonderful speaker here. His name is Tobani, right? I know Tobani we actually went to the same university. He is currently an AWS Cloud Support Associate, right, at Amazon Web Services, right? So for those who are doing cloud computing as an elective, I think this is your chance. This is your chance to get all those queries that you have at the back of your mind sorted in the session. But what he does is he provides support for cloud infrastructure and services. He was nominated for the Future Leader Award and recognized as one of the top 15 geeks in South Africa in 2023 by Geek Culture, with a background in computer science from Tana University of Technology. Tobani has led leadership roles as a chairperson of Hacker Society, and I think this is a good group. If you know about them, that's great. If you don't, I think this is your chance to go and search them up. They actually provide good and useful information on there. And he was an IBM Z ambassador as well, organizing tech events and promoting innovation. Tobani is passionate about cloud technologies, mentoring, and fostering skills development in the tech community. And today we welcome him and thank him for sharing his time with us. Hi, Tobani, can you hear me?
Hi, Google.
Tobani, hello.
Morning,
Hi.
morning, everyone.
Without further ado, Tobani, I think you can take the stage. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for that elaborate bio. So, as Google has introduced me, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to go.
Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, did we lost Tobani there?
You lost me.
Yes,
Can you
we
hear me
couldn't hear you
now?
for a split second. Yes, we can hear you now.
Right. Let me try changing my mic. A moment.
I think we're all having Wi-Fi problems this morning. I see someone on YouTube is saying the Wi-Fi is terrible this morning. I think I'm having the same issues myself, but hopefully it won't stop us from having our session today. Okay. As soon as you're ready, Tabani, you can continue now.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, awesome. I can hear you perfectly.
All right. So my cloud journey started in 2023. As Google has alluded, I don't have my background is in computer science, so how I ended up in cloud is a bit of even myself, I'm a bit surprised that I'm here today. When I first started out in TUT back in 2021, 2022, I saw myself going into more of a software engineering role or backend developer or something like that. But last year, it started off, I started off doing a couple certifications. I did CompTIA A plus, which goes into a bit of basic hardware, basic computer hardware, and then I went into N plus. N plus gave me a bit of scope into networking, subnets. Yeah, and then I did another certification called Microsoft Azure Fundamentals that really took me right to the deep end with cloud. It was quite an interesting certification, and then later on I found the opportunity for an internship with AWS. I applied for that, and then I made it to the interview, and then I made it after the interview. I made it. I made it. I made that Kahoot, and then now here I am after a year and a couple months. So, when I first started, AWS wasn't a thing of. It wasn't. I didn't. Funny enough, I didn't actually have it in picture. I didn't see myself working with one of the biggest cloud providers because I more of saw myself in the back end, not necessarily working frontline with customers day in, day out. So yeah, it's when I look back on it, it's funny to me how I ended up here. So just to set the scene, can I just want to have some engagement from the people here. Can anyone just touch on a bit of cloud, what they understand by the word cloud computing?
Yeah, they can unmute. And Tobani, we also have people on YouTube, so I'll just be passing some of those into the chat as well.
Okay. I'm getting feedback somewhere.
Yeah, I think someone tried to unmute and say something. Yeah.
So essentially, basic cloud computing, just to break it down, is just that delivery of computing services over the internet. Think of it as having virtually unlimited computer power that you can access from anywhere. Instead of buying and maintaining physical servers and infrastructure, businesses can now just rent out exactly what they need from a cloud provider. So the beauty in this model is that you just essentially pay for what you use, more similar to our basic necessities like electricity and water. So before cloud, we had a bit of we had the pre-2000s, we had traditional computing, which was your physical servers in company data centers. So what this caused was high upfront costs, limited scalability, and a whole lot of other things. But with modern cloud, the resources are virtual. It's a pay-as-you-go model, instant scalability, and it's essentially globally accessible. So if a company needed computing resources before, in the pre-2000s, they would need to buy physical servers, look for a place to store them, hire people to maintain them, and then deal with deal with the other associated challenges. So for instance, even when it came to needing more resources, they had to go through that long procurement process again of acquiring more servers, which would cause expensive more expensive. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Am I still with you guys?
Yes, we can still hear you perfectly.
Okay. All right. So what would happen is companies would sometimes overestimate their needs, and they'd be stuck with expensive unused equipment. You know, look at the analogy of for instance, you buy a car with 8 seats, but you actually needed 2. There would be in those cases, you know. So they wouldn't really necessarily see the use that one day maybe they actually need those extra seats in that car. So I'm gonna make an example of Netflix. So Netflix back in 2008 was primarily DVDs with some streaming capabilities. running from their own data centers. But along that journey, they ran into a database corruption, which quite hit their revenue, and they couldn't ship DVDs for a couple of days. So after that incident happened, they realized that traditional infrastructure couldn't support their ambitions of being a global streaming service. So in 2000, I think the year after, 2009, they began their migration to a cloud provider. They began their migration to the cloud provider. So they started shutting down their data centers. And today, as you can see, Netflix serves over 230 million subscribers worldwide. And that's streaming billions of hours of content monthly. So I'm not quite sure if that would have been possible with traditional computing infrastructure, but it just shows you the magnitude of what you can do with cloud. So just for that context, just want to break down cloud a bit. So with cloud, we can break it down into three concepts, which are infrastructure as cloud, platform as a service, and software as a service. Cloud computing falls into these three categories. Look at them as like levels of a building. So with infrastructure as a cloud is like renting a basic building structure. So you get the raw computing resources. You get the servers, you get the storage and the networking, but you are responsible for everything else. And then you've got platform as a service, which is like renting a furnished office space. So you get a platform with the tools and services to develop and deploy your applications, but you don't have to worry about the underlying infrastructure. And then you've got software as a service, which is like renting a fully staffed office. So with software as a service, you just use the software through your web browser while your provider handles everything else. Examples of this is your Gmail or Microsoft 365. I'm not sure, are there any questions so far? Have I lost anyone?
No, we're still together. I think there's a question by
Okay.
Neville. He says, so does it apply to services like Google Drive?
Well, yeah, yes, it does. Do you mean, are you trying to say that is Google Drive a cloud service? Is it well, Google Drive, isn't that a storage service? So that's one use case. That's one use case of cloud, because your data is in the cloud. It's somewhere sitting. We don't even know where it's sitting, but it's in some Google data center. But look at cloud. Well, in essence, look at cloud has, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with hypervisors. So a hypervisor is basically how can I explain it without losing you? So hypervisor in layman's terms is basically a software that you can use to run virtual machines on a single physical machine. So every virtual machine within that physical machine has its own operating system and applications. And then the hypervisor just allocates the underlying physical computing resources, such as your CPU, your memory, etc. So that's in basic essence, that's where it all starts. It's that's where it all starts. Okay, so I want to go into career opportunities. So with clouds that there are quite a few roles individuals can go into, such as your DevOps engineering, cloud data engineering, system admin, solution architects, quite a few, and I will share a couple links people can start working on if they're interested in cloud. So resources that were helpful to me was the CompTIA certifications I mentioned earlier. This year I also did the CCP, the AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. And that's funny enough, that one was more difficult than the Azure fundamentals one. But depending on the vendor you choose to do certifications on, I don't want to say I don't want to seem biased because I'm with AWS, but of course, as AWS is the leading provider, there'll be quite more opportunities open for you if you choose to do one with AWS. Is there any question?
Yes. So Mata was it how do cloud providers ensure data security and privacy?
How do they ensure what?
Data security and privacy.
How do cloud providers ensure data privacy and security? Hey. Well, you're asking the wrong person, but I believe that there are measures to that. There are quite a lot of measures to that. As with my experience, I know AWS doesn't play with security. Security is first priority. So I don't want to answer that. I could, but I'd be going into things I can't share. But
No, it's okay, Tony. We understand. No, I understand you. But we can move on to the next question that says, what is the most in-demand cloud computing roles today? From what you've seen since you're around the same, I don't know, dynamic of the your career?
Most in-demand cloud computing roles. Huh. In demand. I think um I think would be a cloud engineer. Yeah. But cloud engineers are quite crucial because they've got the best of both worlds. They've got expertise in programming. They you've got to be familiar with operating systems, networking, database management. I think would be a cloud engineer.
And then,
Most,
sorry to interrupt. There's a question that says, "Did you sign an NDA when you entered AWS?" Did they say you're not supposed to disclose certain information?
yeah. I did. I don't even think I'm allowed to do these kind of sessions unless you are going through that approval process. But I I I just have to be careful with what I share. Um, yeah, it's good trick.
And then just another question, um, without sharing a lot, right? How does your everyday job look like? Like when you wake up in the morning, do you go to the office even, or are you fully working from home? How does your day look like?
Okay, my day to day is well, wait a minute. Did I leave? Oh shit. Am I still in the session? Okay, yeah,
Yeah, you're still here.
I'm still here. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, so my day to day is um slowly and slowly, AWS is moving everyone back in the office. So it's in a week maybe I'll go 3 to 4 times a week in the office, but sometimes I'll be working from home. But my primary role involves me with AWS customers on the that are on that are operating on Windows machines. So I maintain systems. I maintain customer configurations that customers have on Windows machines. So as you know, cloud is quite vast. So AWS AWS has broken us into um, I can call them domains. Yeah, I can call them domains. So primarily my role, I work with cases, AWS cases, I mean Windows cases, which would mean customers that are running workloads, um, are running their workloads on Windows machines. I support those customers. So day in, day out, it's mostly support cases, uh, projects here and there, but mostly maintenance of customer workloads on AWS.
And then there's another question that says, all in all, how much did your certification cost? The ComSci A plus cost included, and how much time went into you getting those certifications?
Uh, so CompTIA N plus Yeah, CompTIA N Plus is not cheap. I think it's about 3,000 or 2 point something around there. Yeah, around there. The CompTIA certifications can be quite expensive. Yeah, they can be quite expensive. How much time did I went into getting those? So the first one I started CompTIA A plus. CompTIA A plus. I studied for about 2 weeks, two to 3 weeks, because it CompTIA A plus is the easiest one of them all, because it's basic hardware and software. And most of these certifications, it's multiple choice. So on the internet, there's quite a lot of terms that are shared by people of previous questions, and in most cases, when you're going to write, you you're gonna come across the same questions. So the A plus was the easiest one, and then N plus took me a bit more time, because it delves more into networking, and me and networking are not friends, so it took me a bit more time, especially with subnetting. That thing, young better, even though young shy. Yeah. So CompTIA A plus about 2 weeks, and N plus probably about 3 weeks. Yeah.
And then there's a question that says, tell us about the IBM Z Ambassador program you did. So your roles, responsibilities, what were you doing there?
Okay. So with IBM, I was more of an advocate for mainframe computing. So what IBM was trying to was doing with the ambassador program was they wanted to bring awareness around the skills required with mainframes, the skills that are essential if one wants to go into mainframes, because there's quite mainframes are quite scarce. Not specifically mainframes, but skills that essentially talent in mainframes, operating mainframes is quite scarce to find, especially in young people, because most main system operating individuals in mainframe are people that have been there for decades, people that have been there, for decades. Now they want to retire. So that program wanted to bring awareness around skills in the mainframe space. So at the time, I think it was 2022, what I would do is I would do workshops on enterprise computing. I would do live sessions, bit of webinars here and there, and IBM has this platform they call the ZXplore platform where we would do badges, a bit of something similar to certifications. So yeah, that program was quite fruitful at the time. It's mainframes can be quite intimidating when you're first encountering them because you are seeing all of these things happening when you're operating jobs and it's now it's its own ladder, you know. It's its own learning ladder. It's its own learning ladder. But slow and steady, it's if you break down the concepts, um, break them down slowly, it becomes easier. But I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that ZXplore platform, but I'll share the link to Google.
Yes, yes, please. And then I'll send it out to them as well. And then there's no more other questions. I think you can wrap up now. And then, yeah.
Google. Can
Yes,
you guys hear?
Sue.
So there's actually one question that most of the Within Code students would actually like to know. So I'm not sure if this is like in the NDA thing that you signed or not. But so the question is like, can you maybe tell us what like the average salary is like for a cloud computing person?
Someone working in cloud, the salary
Yeah.
for
Yeah, like what is
specific.
like the average or like when you get into cloud, what will your base salary be?
Well, that depends on where you are working. That depends on where where you're employed. But um, ish, you guys want me to reveal my salary? I
Don't. You can give in
mm,
ranges. You can give in range. To say if you begin from this range to this, you know.
okay. So ish, am I allowed to say? Wait, wait. Um, so I can't give you a specific figure per se because I'm not entirely sure. Um, I'm not entirely sure around market cap for cloud per se because it can quite differentiate between different companies. It can quite be um, a different between the two. So um, uh, as in check out Glassdoor. Check out Glassdoor and you see my role as you can see on the slide. Search my role and you'll see how much um, AWS cloud support engineers are paid on Glassdoor. Check Glassdoor. You'll see them there. That will give you an approximate figure.
Thank you for that. Yeah, any final remarks before we move on to our next speaker?
Okay. Okay. Final stuff I can add is so to get into cloud, I'd suggest you master just the basics. The basics you'd of course the basics, your basic technical skills. You don't have to master to a high proficient level, but be familiar with maybe a bit of Java and then look into a bit of your scripting languages, and then from there go into your operating systems, Linux, Windows, etc. And then from there, touch on networking fundamentals. And then from there, you can go into your major cloud platforms, whether it's AWS or Azure or any other platforms. But that's it for me. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much, Tawani, for your time. Thank you for also sharing your expertise on cloud computing, even though I know you've signed an NDA, but thank you for going that extra stretch for our audience. It is really much appreciated. And then if there's
Pleasure.
any more questions, you feel free to hop off at any time. If there's any additional questions that our guests have for you, we'll then email you those. Then you can just send us your responses. Right?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Cool. Up next, we are diving into now IBM Skills Build. So now that you've heard from Tobani and what he has to say in terms of cloud computing and what is there and what it has to offer, and you actually don't know where to start, right? That's where there's a platform called IBM Skills Build, and that's where it can give you like beginner course on how to do that. And Nicola's here to tell us more about that. Nicola from Cape Town.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, Nicola.
When he said that he signed an NDA, I was like, I wish I signed one.
They need to ask you about your salary.
No, it's great. We can exist in this country. Okay, hi guys. So we're all here for IBM Skills Build. There is new work coming along, but with that said, IBM Skills Build is a free educational platform where it's similar to Udemy and Coursera, but we make sure that everything that you have is free and you don't have to put any of your card details in, etc. It is very tech related, so it's AI, web development, cloud computing, of course. There's something for everyone, and there's a learning plan. So you learn step by step, so it's not too overwhelming, and there's no deadline. So it's free, flexible, everything we just needed this time of the year. And then what else about it? Oh yeah, so with your learning plan, you will get certificates and badges. We're basically going to show you how to get to that. But with these certificates and badges, we do recommend that you put them on your CVs, LinkedIn, social media, and share it. As when employers go around, they do look at all your socials and LinkedIn, and it shows your ambition and it makes you stand out of a crowd. And with IBM Skills Build, you also get soft skills. So if you're a little bit social anxiety like me, or you're scared to like say what you want to say, it comes with soft skills, and these soft skills are learning to work all together in group projects, team building, problem solving, which is very important. So we're also going to put out those learning plans soon. We're going to do one of those webinars in December where everyone's getting job ready. And then I think that's it from me. I do think go explore, especially now when it's coming to this time of the year. Go find something fun to do on Skills Build. We are going to put like a whole games learning plan out for everyone, so you can learn coding very easily, front end, back end, and clouding. Hopefully, we can find a cool game to teach us how to all. Well, I thought of like a fun analogy was go tie balloons onto like your paper and let it off to the cloud. When he said like, what do you think clouding is? That's exactly the thing that came to mind. So yes, Zube, I'm passing it on to you.
Thank you, Nicola. Okay. So I'm just gonna do a quick walkthrough of the IBM Skills Builder website just to show you what you can all find and then also where you can go and get your certificate on IBM, right? So if you go into IBM Skills Builder, right, to log in, and if you go to the search button over at the top and you just search WTC, right? You'll find the channel that we've created. So everything that is available on this channel is free. So we have the cloud computing fundamentals. This is the basics that you need to know when you're going into cloud computing. And then another thing also, the workshop that is happening right now, you'll be able to find the recording over here. So if you go into this, right, and you just mark this as complete. So you click on mark as complete, come to submit. And once that is completed, you'll be able to view a completion certificate. So this certificate you can actually put onto your LinkedIn or any of your social media sites. So this is something that you can share and show people all the extra things that you are doing, right? And then something else as well, just to get some feedback from you guys on what you could maybe improve on or things that you are looking for in the future. You can do the survey over here. If there is anything else that you're looking for, you can always just go to the search button at the top and search in your thing that you're looking for. So, for instance, you may be looking for something in cybersecurity, right? So on the channel we have something on cybersecurity, but if you're looking for something else, right, you can always just search whatever you're looking for. And there are quite a few things that you can find on here. So there is what is cybersecurity. There's actual learning plans that you can get credentials. So the credentials will have to go on to Google. What's the site again called?
Greatly.
Greatly.
Gradly. Here we go. Sorry, I just blanked out there for a second. So you'll have to go onto Gradly, and everything that you do on IBM that says new design or earn a credential, right? All of those things will go onto Credly. So you'll have to create an account over there and you'll get all your credentials over there. So all of these things, right? These are all things that you can earn. And then also just something else. So on this channel, we have quite a few webinars that we did in the past. So if you would like to go and look at any of those, you'll just have to look at live online. So all of these are links to the YouTube recording, right? So you can go and you can go watch our front end AI. There's a work readiness one, right? So there's multiple ones that you can go and look at. And for all of these, right, that you've completed, you'll actually get a certificate for. So for work readiness, again, same thing, mark is complete and view completion certificate. So all of these will be able to put on your LinkedIn, and future employers will actually be able to see all the things that you've done outside of Within Code, or if you're not at Within Code, things that you've done on your own to better yourself, up your skills and things like that. Is there anything I'm missing, Gugu?
Nothing from my side. Yeah. Just so you carry on, we're gonna be moving into the Q&A session. But just a reminder with our two upcoming events, if you're looking to register, we do have the links in the chats. So register for future webinars. So if you want to join our cybersecurity and artificial intelligence webinar, feel free to register with the links that has been posted for you. And also just to highlight the fact that we're always looking for feedback from you guys as to what else you'd like us to focus on in terms of the skills that you might require. So do fill out our survey just to let us know how this session went for you and how you'd want us to better our sessions going into the future. Right? Feel free to type any of your questions in the chats if you have any overall questions. And also remember the address that I spoke about. So our email address is down below. So if you stumbled across any problem at all, whether it's you not getting your credentials on time or if IBM Skills Build is giving you some sort of weird error, feel free to reach out. We do have a designated team for that. We'll help you solve any problems that you may have. Feel free to review any of the courses that are on IBM Skills Build. we always go and see for our 5-star ratings in there. So we can also know where we can actually improve, right? If there is, I see there's no questions. Hopefully we'll be there to see you again next week for another session. And hopefully we'll have another speaker for you guys who will be an expert in that specific field. Okay, here's a question. Is there any intake coming soon at Within Code? So currently we do have an intake open for our TVET colleges. So this is now CJC as well as Zubem.
So it's a TVET college in Riversdale. So it's called South Cape TVET College.
Okay, so in South Cape as well as CJC. CJC is here, Central Joburg College. So those are the applications that are currently open, and there's currently boot camps happening for that. Is it possible to balance a job and Within Code? Sadly not. Reason for that is when you are at Within Code, they require you to be there 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. So, and it's just hectic when you're in there as well. So it'll take a lot of your time. It will be as though you're working a full-time job. So hence that's why most of the time they will then advise you that they aim for people who are currently unemployed or not registered with any program during that time. Hopefully I answered your questions. Here's another question. How can I tell people outside of Within Code about these meetings? I'm assuming they are for everyone who can join. Yes, they are. We post these on our social media platforms. So at Within Code, right? Every week there's always going to be something that is posted about such such sessions, as well as do copy the links that were sent to you on the chats about registering, and you can forward that or share the whether it's your LinkedIn, your Facebook, you can repost, you can share those links to, and then they can sign up from there. Zeni, thank you for your question, and I hope I answered your question too. I'm glad we have questions. I really do feel like we're getting somewhere when we have questions to answer. But if there aren't any more questions, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully to see you again next week. Anything from you, team?
No, all good from you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and see you next week. Bye, guys. The Google form needs permission. Oh, it's okay. The Google form needs permission. Did you see that?
So now, okay, we'll try to fix it right now. I don't know.
Okay, we will fix that right now. Please try again after a few minutes. Matabo. Thank you for that. See why surveys are important.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.